narcissists tend to avoid other narcissists. Now, that's important to notice because what we're talking about are 6 traits, personality types of people that narcissists tend to avoid. And I want to learn from these because I want the narcissist to avoid me. I don't want to be exploited. I don't want them taking advantage of me. So the best thing to do is put myself in a position where I am repellent and repulsive to the narcissist. And what repels a narcissist more than another narcissist? And there's a couple reasons for that. Number one, they don't like the competition. And I'm not saying that you should become a narcissist so you can repel a narcissist. I'm just saying that narcissists don't like the competition of other narcissists, and they don't like people they can't exploit, and they can't exploit other narcissists, or it's very difficult for them to do that. So rather than become a narcissist to repel other narcissists, the thing to do is observe their traits. This is something that I do. I'm not giving advice, just kind of passing on to you some of the things that I've learned in my 70 plus years, but just kind of pick up on some of their traits and mirror them back at the narcissist. Talk the way they talk, act the way they talk, behave the way they talk, but only to the narcissist. So what he or she will think is, this is somebody that I don't think I want to mess with. Now, this is kind of ironic because the narcissist, by the very definition of the term, is in love with himself. But he or she is not in love with people who mirror the narcissist. We're competitors. It's kind of like a beauty contest. You don't like the other contestants. Well, maybe you do, but you don't like the other contestants because some of them are better looking than you. Some of them are more talented than you. So they're kind of, maybe you don't hate them, but these aren't people that you want to stand next to because they may make you look bad. So the narcissists, okay, that's probably a bad analogy, but narcissists tend to repel, in my experience, other narcissists. So pick up on some of those traits. Number 2, and we're going to tie these together in just a moment, but number 2, I have found that narcissists tend to avoid people who are what I call based or maybe grounded. Maybe a better word is centered. I've known people like that. They just flat out have their act together. They tend to attack people who are not grounded, who are off-center, who don't seem to have their act together because they're very exploitable. So if you don't want to become a victim of a narcissist, I tell myself, why don't you just, be based, be grounded, be centered, number 3, be confident, be self-confident. The worst thing a narcissist hates, the worst person for a narcissist to get entangled with is somebody who is so confident that they're not going to waste their time with a narcissist. Now, narcissists, at least in my experience, sometimes they will take advantage of self-confident people, successful people. They will want to warm up to these people. I've seen it. So that maybe they're not trying to exploit the self-confident person, but they're trying to become an ally. So some of that confidence will appear to rub off on them. You know what I'm talking about? So if you are in the company of somebody who is self-confident, others will say, well, he must have those same traits. We think this subliminally. So yeah, sometimes they do hang around people who are self-confident, but they're very unlikely, at least in my experience, to try to exploit them. That's the objective. So what I want to do to become narcissist repellent is I want to behave myself with an air of confidence, not arrogance, not narcissism, except to the narcissist. But I want to have that air of confidence in the way that I walk, the way that I talk, my mannerisms, everything about me, because that is the last person a narcissist wants to exploit, because it's just a waste of time. They look for people who lack confidence, who are looking for some kind of social support. And, they're easy prey for narcissists, but not self-confident people. Number 4 is they tend to avoid people who are educated, who are aware of their tactics, of their tricks. How do you do that? Well, you do it by doing what you're doing right this very moment. You educate yourself. So number 4, they want to stay away from people who are educated, who are aware to the tactics of narcissism, because they're just a waste of time. Why would you bother? Number 5 is they tend to avoid people who are assertive or charismatic. Again, just a waste of time. They cannot exploit these people as easily as somebody who is not assertive, somebody who is not charismatic. In fact, what I have seen is narcissists will actually look for people who are not assertive, people who are a little bit cumbersome in their behavior, that they lack the self-confidence that we were talking about a moment ago. So what I want to do is I want to exude assertiveness. I want to exude charismatic personality traits best I can. I'm not naturally charismatic, I'm just not that type of person. I'd never make a good salesman, especially a car salesman, but at least I can be enough like that to give the narcissist a second thought. So he says, Ken, I think I'm going to leave him alone. The 6th type of person that narcissists tend to avoid are people who are critics, because narcissists don't like to be criticized. That's kind of obvious, right? What is the narcissist doing? He is trying to acquire supply. He's addicted to supply. What he or she is doing is trying to boost their ego. That's what supply is all about. And you don't boost somebody's ego by being critical. Now, I don't like to be critical. I'm not a critical person. I don't like criticism. I think it's a form of arrogance unless it's for a positive, good reason. But other, criticism just for the sake of criticism, that's just kind of a way of elevating ourselves. No, I don't like that. But around a narcissist, why not? Once you figure out this guy's a narcissist, go ahead, let him have it. And what I have found is even when you're trying to help somebody, giving them positive feedback, if it's a narcissist, they will find that very upsetting. Now, they may fire back on you. They may try to hurt you because they seem to deem that as a personal affront. Let's tie these together. What we need to do, the word that ties these together is the word boundaries. What we need to do is establish boundaries around ourselves, enough distance between ourselves and the narcissist that we may stumble upon. Some of these we should exude all the time. Some of them just around narcissists, and that's problematic because you don't always know who the narcissist is until he has got you in his crosshairs and he started love bombing, then love bonding, and then it becomes apparent. But other things like being educated, being self-confident, being assertive, those things, well, we should do those all the time, just because it not only helps us, but it's almost a courtesy to other people not to be a limp-wristed wimp, because people don't like that. They find it uncomfortable. I want to make people comfortable. So the way to tie all these things together is to establish these boundaries and keep the narcissist as far removed as you possibly can. Take a look at the red circle, lower right-hand corner. Click on that. You can subscribe to our channel and be part of our YouTube family. In the lower left-hand corner, there should be a rectangle. Click on that. And you can watch our past videos. You can binge if you want. There's a lot of them, and we'll see you all next time.